how to like build a case. So if you are a lawyer, or even if there are non-lawyers also here today, they are social activists. Now, if you are going to create your PIL, okay, you have collected all your information, which supports your arguments. Now, how do you draft? How do you draft a PIL? Like I said earlier, it was as simple as, or even now for that matter, if there is a genuine issue, we made your efforts, things are not working, and you've written to the Chief Justice saying that this is a problem which I'm really serious about. And the Chief Justice feels that yes, this is a problem which needs to be looked upon, and you don't have the authorities or the resources to engage a lawyer or things, then this issue is genuine. The court may take that as a PIL. Bandura Mukti Morcha case was started. Sometimes even they may come across some kind of a news or on a newspaper or a TV, and wherever the court feels, the court may appoint a amicus. So there are PILs titled as court on its own motion versus state. That everything boils down to whether issue was genuine and how much of research you've done before going there. So when you come to drafting of a PIL, a proper format to drafting of a PIL, of course, we will get it very comfortably on the internet nowadays. But for any drafting to be going to the court, keep in mind there are certain procedures. So I've devised over the years of experience, I've devised a certain procedure to be followed. If you follow that, so you've collected your documents. What you do is, first and foremost, once your documents are collected, study those documents carefully. When you study those documents, you draw a sketch in your mind as to what exactly is your finally going to be the line of action or line of preparation of that drafting. And you create a first draft on that instance. And when you create a first draft, and there are a lot of quotes with respect to the first drafts. And one of the very interesting quotes was of Shannon Hale. He said that I'm writing a first draft and reminding myself that I'm simply shoveling sand into a box, and that later I can build castle. So first is only collecting the information and data, putting it into a box so that later you can use that to create your PIL. So when you take that all the data, first thing you need to do is write the date of that document on the top right corner with a pencil so that you can remove it later. These are very practical tips that will help you. Now, once you put the dates, then you sort the documents date-wise. Now you have the oldest document on the top and the latest one at the bottom. So it becomes like a storybook starting from a very old time and going down to the current moment. When you read that document, after you've sorted, that is again when you start reading the document. Now not looking for the date because that you've already done. So you are very confident these are date-wise. So your entire action report will come as with the sequence of the date. So then you prepare a list of dates and events. Now your sequence of that dates and events will also come date-wise, the oldest on the top and the newest on the bottom. Prepare that and then you make a mention. So there will be the date, make 3 columns, date and the particulars of the document, and then the source of that document. So that source may be a document which you received through an RTI, so you can say it as a letter dated so-and-so, or a reply given to by so-and-so department with respect to so-and-so question. Or it was, a document, maybe a sort of an agreement, whether maybe a builder contract. I don't know what it may be, but whatever that document is, define it for your understanding. So once you've created the list of dates, mentioning the source of that information, you are very sure that these information are based on documents, so you can easily prove it before the court. So your arguments become very strong the moment you have based your drafting itself on the documents at the first instance. In the second stage, you then, of course, you've collected the newspaper articles, you've collected wherever that information through RTIs, some documents which possibly you already had. So you do further discussions of information from people who may give you an idea on so-and-so where so-and-so thing had happened. Maybe if it's a very old stage, maybe your father or at his stage, somebody was aware of it. Wherever, through your neighbors, depending as to what your PIL is, get more information. Add that information and make a note that this information, the source of this information is through a certain friend of yours or through a certain neighbor of yours. Now, once your list of dates is complete and you are sure what are supported by documents and what are just information from the general public that you've received, your storyline becomes
Right. Once your storyline is clear with respect to your PIL, then you do your research on the law that supports it. More importantly, the Constitution of India. Maybe there is a provision of law which is already in existence, but the government has not implemented it. Or maybe, like you rightly said, there are PILs already filed on the same issue. You know it because you've done your research. A lot of people, before filing a PIL, are not even aware that already a PIL may be in existence. Like I have come across a lot of people who have intended to file PILs on making the cannabis plant legal in India. And there are a lot of PILs already pending. So there are a lot of issues, but please do your research. And like you said, something may be missed out. And they have gone to the extent of saying that the government of India, under the pressure at the time of independence and soon after the independence, came under the pressure of the United Nations and America, who wanted to bring in and encourage allopathic medicines in India. So the major source of Ayurveda was hemp and cannabis plant. So that is the reason why they banned it in India. People have come up with done the research. I don't know whether that's right, wrong, but research has been done, PILs have been filed. So one is, of course, you genuinely feel towards it, do your research, prepare the list of dates and events. And they have mentioned the dates when it was banned, when the United Nations recommended. And now, in fact, the United Nations, for example, has also said that they have decided to, they have not yet done it, but I think they have passed a resolution where they decided to put the cannabis in the, take it away from the category of harmful plants. So a lot of things have to be seen, considered, research. These are all research. And once you've prepared, done your research well, the documents are ready, your storyline is complete, the law is studied, the precedence has been taken care of, then you start drafting. And when you draft, be very careful as to what you are asking for. The idea is to be specific. There should be no ambiguity, no loopholes in your PIL. Very, very important.